All right, this is Samori Benjamin here with Mike Ford of the first place Seattle Mariners. That's first baseman Mike Ford. All right, Mike, thanks for joining us, my man. And Mike is from New Jersey. So, Mike, in New Jersey, what part of New Jersey are you from?
Central, like town north of Princeton. So.
Right. So did you grow up a fan of the Major League team?
Yankees.
Yankee. Okay. All right. Cool. So, as a kid growing up, just how did you become a Yankees fan, and what do you remember of the Yankees as a kid?
I was a Mets fan because I went to spring training. My grandparents had a place in Port St. Lucie, and my brother was like, Yankees are better, so be a Yankees fan. So I ended up being a Yankees fan when I was like 4, whatever I can remember. And just from then on, it was just watching a bunch of great teams, so kind of easy.
Awesome. So what do you remember about just being a kid as a Yankee fan, maybe some of your fondest memories as a kid being a fan?
I mean, just the World Series runs that they went on were pretty special, and then getting to put on that jersey was really special to me. Obviously, being a fan for so long and getting to play.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you did end up playing for them. Now I want to get to that in a minute. So coming up in high school, you did your thing, and then you went to Princeton to go to college. Now, how did you decide on going to Princeton and not one of the bigger baseball playing schools?
Yeah, there's a few things. I mean, obviously the education was pretty important to my family growing up, so that was one. And then Coach Bradley, Scott Bradley is there, and I knew him for a very long time. He kind of promised me that I could do both there, pitch and hit, and I didn't really kind of want to give one up yet. So a bunch of the other bigger schools were one or the other, and really glad I went there. Scott was like a second father to me, kind of growing up, and we were that close, and I just trusted him, and it worked out.
Yeah, and Scott Bradley, former Yankee, also a former Mariner catcher. He caught Randy Johnson in the early 90s. All right, so Mike, what was that experience like in Princeton? I know, all right, folks, Mike Ford is the first Ivy Leaguer to be named Pitcher and Player of the Year in the same year. So that's amazing. What were your Princeton years like?
School is tough. that's one thing that sticks out for sure. But we had a great group of guys there, great teammates. They really made my experience fun. Baseball-wise, I mean, it's like anywhere else. Maybe a little bit less depth than a bigger school, but still good baseball, and everything kind of worked out like Scott had kind of planned it out for me, and I couldn't thank him enough.
So after Princeton, you go undrafted, and then you end up being signed as an undrafted free agent by your favorite team growing up, the Yankees. How did that come about, and what kind of experience was that like to first be signed by them?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of an interesting situation because I signed as a junior, non-drafted free agent, so I had the ability to talk to a bunch of teams. I had 5 teams interested and made offers, and I ended up going with New York. Mets was another one. But yeah, it just kind of came down to what I thought was best for me, and at that time went with New York, and ended up working out a little bit down the road, but took a little bit of time, but it ended up working out.
Yeah, right. I mean, and just coming from the Ivy Leagues to the Major Leagues is not easy. There's not a whole lot of Ivy Leaguers in pro sports, period. So you get to the minor leagues, and you're in there for a few years. In the minor leagues, we know it's the grind, okay, it's the battle to get out of it. What was that experience like in the minor leagues all those years?
I probably played more minor league games than a lot of people before they debuted. So, it was a long time coming. It was really special when it happened. It is a grind. There's a lot of long bus trips. Sometimes you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this still. But, at the end of the day, it's super worth it. And obviously, kind of the past few years it's been special going different places and seeing different things. So.
Nice. Now, before I ask you about being called up, what kept you going and persevering and not giving up in the minor leagues? Because you went to Princeton, you could have done anything with the Ivy League degree.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little tough to see some of my friends making some good money already, but I have a great support system. My parents really always have been there for me, and distinctly remember one conversation with my dad. I think he knew I wasn't doing too well. Drove up to Binghamton and kind of sat me down and had a talk. I think that was in like 2016, and that kind of kept me going. And just. You're going to have those days, but a good support system really helps.
And of course, now being in the Yankee minor league system, you're living the dream. You're living that. You're trying to make that dream and get to the Yankees, because that's a dream, to play for the Yankees. And in 2019, you do. You get called up to the big club, I believe in April, early in that year, right? So in that 2019 Yankee team, very special team, a lot of power. They set historic numbers, home run-wise, right? And there were injuries that year, so a lot of guys filled in and stepped up. You were one of them. So, first, what was that like as first being called up to the Yankees after all those years in the minor leagues?
I mean, it was a dream come true for me. It's cliche to say, but that really was what it was. And like I said, it was a long time coming. So to make it happen and actually stick it out and get the chance to put the uniform on was really special to me. And that year was just a ton of fun. I mean, we had a lot of young guys. And we just filled in and did a great job. The leadership in the clubhouse was awesome, and they just kind of helped the younger guys.
You know what, Mike? I got to tell you a funny story, right? I've never in my life caught a ball at a game. So the closest I came to catching a ball at a game was 2019 Yankees-Orioles game. I'm standing in the right field by the warehouse. You're up. You hit a ball, boom. I'm right there in right field. The ball's coming right to me. I'm looking at it like, oh, the ball's coming right to me. And I have no glove or anything. And it's coming right to me. And I want to catch it, but then last minute I'm thinking I have no glove on. I'm going to hurt. And so I kind of do a half effort trying to catch it and went behind me, and then the mob came. Yeah, but it was you at the plate. Yeah.
I think I remember.
Hit a bomb to right field. Yeah, Baltimore. That's cool, man. So that year, that was really, really great for you. How was it for you just playing at Yankee Stadium and your family getting to come and seeing you play in the pinstripes?
Yeah, I mean, family and friends, like I said, a great support system growing up. So, just to get to share those moments with them, especially with being close. With a team that kind of, all my friends rooted for, obviously family too. Just kind of really special. It's still hard for me to put into words. I appreciate everything that organization did for me. They really taught me how to be a professional. And, I think that's lost sometimes. But to be able to share those memories with family was very, very cool.
Now, in 2020, you got a chance to play in the playoff with the Yankees, and that was a weird season with the COVID and all that. And the playoffs there was one set for you all in Cleveland, and then out to the West Coast. But what was that experience like? The whole 2020 you got those playoffs.
2020 was a weird one, I think I got 70 total at bats that year. It's just kind of tough to get anything going. But the playoffs was really cool. I think it's probably the most nervous I've ever been. I got put in defensive replacement in the Cleveland series. So that was my first playoff action, and I'm a bad first guy. Hope I don't mess up here. But no, it was special to get that. I'd love to see what the playoffs is like with fans in the stands. That'd be pretty sick. So we'll see if that happens this year.
Right, because right now Seattle is. Right now you all are actually tied for first place for the Houston Astros, the reigning champions. I was in Seattle, Mike, first time in my life at the All-Star game. Beautiful place, and I know they have never even been to a World Series, the Mariners. So last year they ended their 21-year drought of not being in the playoffs. So this year, if you all get a chance to be there, it'll be your chance also to get out there in front of fans in the playoffs. So what's the mood like right now in Seattle for this team, and how do you all feel about this playoff push?
I mean, moving the clubhouse is great. We're just kind of all relaxed and just kind of getting our job done and moving to the next guy. And that's what good teams do. Obviously, we got really great pitching, so that can carry you for a time period. And our offense started clicking, so that's why we've been going like we've been going. But I think everyone else started hitting. I stopped hitting. So, but it's great that we're just kind of having that team approach. You just pass the baton. If you walk, okay, now the next guy can hit a two-run homer or hit a double in the gap and you score. So it's been special, and the fans in Seattle are really great. They come out, they support. Been a lot of places now, and it's definitely one of the tops. And that makes us have a little more juice when we play.
But two more for you. You won, like I said, you were named the Ivy League Pitcher and Player of the Year when you were in Princeton. So you did both at a high level in the Ivy League. Now Ohtani, he does both here at a high level. But so watching him, I feel like now that kids see that it can be done on the major league level, that kids now will grow up thinking and saying, okay, I'm going to do that. And then 20 years from now, I can see a few guys who are doing what Ohtani is doing. Maybe not to as high a level, but I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. So yes, and you were someone. I'm sure when you got into the big leagues, the minor leagues, they really did not allow you to pitch like how it is here. Like everything is specialized, so they don't even allow guys to even try to do what Ohtani is doing. But do you think that now that it's happening and kids are watching it growing up, do you think that 20 years from now we'll see other guys doing what Ohtani is doing?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I think it can help from a general manager's perspective. You have a guy that can throw 3 innings out of the bullpen occasionally or something that can really help. Obviously he does it both at an incredibly high level. So I don't know if anyone will match that. That'll be seen down the road, but. Yeah, I think it's important. Growing up, I played a bunch of different sports. You learn a bunch of different things from each sport. And then within this game, doing both, kind of taught me 2 different things. How to, when I was hitting, go along with the pitcher, and kind of think what he's trying to do. When I'm pitching, okay, what's the hitter kind of feeling in this count? What's his actions look like? So it teaches you a lot. So I hope, when kids are young, it's not just one or the other, because it makes you a little bit more athletic and you just kind of think about things a little bit differently.
The last one, 2-part. Favorite player? Do you have a favorite athlete growing up? And after you were done, do you have any aspirations of coaching, managing, or being in the front office?
Yeah, well, the second part, definitely, I think I'd definitely like to stay within the game. I think I'd probably be better suited in a front office than managing and traveling as much as we do. I've done it for a long time, so I think front office would probably be where I would like to go next. And then favorite athlete growing up, I had a few. Michael Jordan really sticks out to me. And, he just won. He went on the court and won, and it's just really awesome to watch. No one really did it.
Right, so I guess it would not be smart to ask you who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan, right?
Well, yeah, I got a soft spot for Jordan, I guess. So LeBron's pretty awesome.
All right, I said LeBron, but hey. All right, so Mike Ford, hometown boy, out here in Jersey. Don't forget the only Ivy League player to be named Pitcher and Player of the Year. All right, Mariners first baseman Mike Ford. Thank you, Mike. All right, buddy. All right, folks, we're back.